Hello and welcome back. We are Tabletop Adventures. And this... Tabletop Anthologies. And this is Star Trek Adventures. See, with the mold of Star Trek Adventures and Tabletop Anthologies. Got a little tongue-tied. I was actually looking at the screen because Commander Maricadi is quite large. And I'm going to have to shrink him down here before we start.
Oh, I'm quite large.
And there we are. There we have it. Everybody, welcome. So we are continuing our second scenario from last week. This one is There's No Such Thing as a Free Lunch. With us is our crew of the USS Surprise. And Tabletop Tony just subscribed. So thank you very much for that. We appreciate your love. So with us is Commander Maricadi, our XO.
Hi, it's me. Nice to be here.
Welcome, welcome. And Commander Kullat, our science officer.
Salutations.
Greetings. And then our Lieutenant Commander, Zemtak Thrall, on Conn.
Andorian.
Oh, I'll get there.
Sorry,
I'll get there.
Sorry.
You just hold your horses, Andorian.
I just can't wait.
Our other Lieutenant Commander, Andorian, Kaval Tathak. I think I'm saying that right.
Hey, what's up?
Man. And our Chief Medical Officer, Lieutenant Junior Grade, Andal Grax.
Hello.
Hello. I am Dionysus, our Admiral and GM, and I have my Star Trek onesie on, and then also, just so you guys are aware, Dixon is joining us. Dixon Hill. Anyways.
Oh, nice. That's a good one.
Yeah. Anyways, we are continuing here. We left off in the promenade as the team started to go towards the engineering storage. Oh, you've got a Tribble. Well, there goes the world. Trouble. They were going to engineering storage to get some supplies for the ship when two Klingon females rushed up to attack Thrall and seemed to be quite interested in him. And that's where we left off. And so that is where we will pick up.
Lieutenant Commander, I'm not familiar with your culture's mating rituals, but it seems that these women are into you, as one might say.
Yeah, I'm picking up something like that, Commander.
They're just kind of hanging on you right now. They are kind of petting you, almost just adoring you. And the one looks at you and she says, "You are a hunk of a man." And kind of ruffles up the front of your shirt like this, and she says, "Have you a mate?"
I thank you, and also, I cannot say that is the case.
Now, take it easy there, women. We are officials on official business with Starfleet Federation.
And she glances at you. And then all of a sudden, like, initially it was like eyes of like, how dare you interrupt me? But then those eyes had the same eyes that they had for Tak Thrall. And one of them moves to you, Commander. And she starts hanging on you. And she's like, "And you, human? You have a mate?"
Well, that's for official business only, there, madam. I must ask that you unhand me, as I'm on a mission here.
Well,
I'm on a mission here.
I'm officially asking.
Oh no! Oh no!
Where are you headed right now, Commander?
That is all I need to know, ma'am. What's your name?
Her name.
Quite lovely.
Well, where did it go? Where did it go?
Where did it go? Is that Klingon?
That is
I'm not
Klingon.
familiar with.
1 second. I just had it. It's gone. Gone.
Okay. Also need to know her favorite color, her flower of preference.
Sorry,
favorite movie,
Lucara.
and her
Lucara
favorite
is her name.
childhood.
And so, Commander Maricadi, real quick, if you could give me a control and fitness difficulty 2.
Is this to keep my privates in check?
I don't know. Guess we'll see.
Say control and fitness, but that doesn't exist. Fitness and command, sorry.
Oh, sorry. What? Fitness and security. Fitness and security.
Okay, sounds good. Sorry, I guess I'm in a horny mood. Thank you, Tech Thrall.
Ooh, Our Grazerite, right? Our Grazerite. And don't forget, she's still hanging. Oh, okay. So
just yes.
She looked at you, and she was basically getting ready to lift you up off your feet and carry you to your next destination, but you were able to shove her aside, and she's not
actually, so with that, if she's going to try to pick me up, I'm going to jump into her arms. If I can do that instead. Anticipating the grab.
Yeah, you could do that.
I jump into her arms, and now I'm holding her. I'm like, well, I'm quite unfamiliar with Klingon mating rituals, but what is Starfleet if not up for some adventure? Yes, we're headed to the equipment storage. If you could, carry me there, I suppose.
I will carry you there, human. And the other one, so it's Lucara and Lursa. Lucara and Lursa. Lursa, she's just kind of got her arm around you, Tack Thrall, and she's like, we know where the storage is. We shall go that direction. And so she starts heading the southeast direction. It's going to be past the middle point, and it's going to be the first building on the southeast side, or first entrance on the southeast side there.
Okay.
So if you guys want to move your characters.
Who wants to do it? Anyone?
Oh, sorry. Game was paused.
I can't move. I'm being carried, so DM.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
She carries you. She carries you right to the entrance. Whoops.
Perfect.
That is not the entrance. That's the entrance. Right around there.
Oh. Okay.
There you go.
So, I kind of start to get off onto my feet now. If she lets me here.
She lets you down.
Sure.
She says.
And I grab her hand. And I say, well, allow me to show you a bit of my culture. And I kiss her hand. And I say, thank you once again for the ride. How may I reach you after our mission's over?
She shoves you against the wall. Kind of pulls back on your Starfleet protocol ponytail there. Whoa. She says, you can find me in the north end of the promenade over in Friend's Bar. And she lets go, and she turns and walks away. And the other one, hanging on Tack Thrall, she escorts you right up to the door as well, Lieutenant Commander.
Oh, well, thank you for your company. Now, Lieutenant Grax, he wears the finest cologne in all of Starfleet.
She looks over at Lieutenant Grax. She looks back, and she's like, I really have eyes for you, Grazerite. You've got those thick hands.
Oh, okay.
You'll join me and my partner. You could bring your commander and your friends here to the bar when you're done doing your duties. And she kind of shoves you against the wall. Pretty good. Not hard to hurt you, but in a Klingon your mind manner. And she starts wandering off with her friend.
All right.
Lieutenant Commander, I take it you don't quite experience this sort of thing very often. I don't either. I mean, Klingons are quite aggressive in their mating rituals from what I've read, but it seems they've taken a liking to us. Let's keep on our toes, make sure nothing is stolen. I hate to assume, but it's a space station. Many of the sort are here. And I'm kind of tapping myself, making sure I have everything.
You do. Yeah, they didn't take anything.
That's cool. That's good. let's get into this equipment room here, gentlemen, and get on with our mission.
So your Starfleet badge grants you access. It's already been given you access. So all of your supplies are in there. And there's a gentleman on the console there, and he looks to you and he says, "Welcome. Your name, sir?"
Greetings. I'm Commander Maricadi, as well as behind me I have Lieutenant Junior Grade Handel, Commander Kullat, Lieutenant Commander The Talk, sorry, and Lieutenant Commander Thrall. As an aside, sorry, Kullat, I think I spoke for you. I have apologies.
So he nods and he says, "Welcome, sir. I'll have your equipment here in a second." And he taps up a button, and out on the belt, or out on the little terminals there, they kind of transport in, and it's right next to Andal there, and the boxes come in, and they're there for you guys to move. There's about 4 of them, and they're all easily carried.
Okay. Well,
Can we inspect them here before we take them?
Yeah, you sure can. Yeah, you looking in? You using a tricorder? What are you doing?
I'm going to open them up. I am
Okay.
Lieutenant Commander Kaval, the chief engineer on our ship. I would like to inspect these before we take possession.
Understood, Lieutenant Commander. Go ahead.
Take a look.
And so yeah, you look inside, and it's all engineering equipment. It all seems to be exactly what it says it is, and you can even see different numbers on the box that correspond with your ship's designation.
Okay, cool. And is there a transport? Antigrav transport?
He said, excuse me. We have them, but they are currently being used. You'll have to carry them. They're light enough. I think you could handle that, Lieutenant Commander.
How big are these things?
They're probably like that. So you guys are carrying them like probably about 2 or 3 feet long, about 1.5 feet, probably about 20 pounds each, 25 pounds.
So like
Easily.
2 to a case with 2 cases stacked on top of each other, that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. And where's the idol? Am I still carrying that in its box?
I think Commander had it last, but I'm not sure. Commander Maricadi, but don't recall.
whatever. Honestly, continuity-wise, I'm holding it, I guess.
How
Okay.
about we take that?
Maybe.
How about we take
I'll
that and
grab
put
2 of
that
them.
in one of the crates, just so it's out of sight
Yeah.
for right now.
Very good, Kaval. That sounds like an excellent plan. Put that in there. I'll grab a crate. If the other 2 gentlemen could grab a crate, and then we'll head back to the captain. I'm sure he's been missing us.
Yeah.
And then we head back.
And then you head back?
All right,
Okay.
gentlemen, keep on your toes.
Yeah.
Lift with your
What do you-
lower back in a jerking, twisting motion.
You nervous that something's gonna run into you again in the promenade or something?
If you see a
Yes.
Ferengi, phaser set to kill.
Told you. If you rub his lobes counterclockwise, it's the universal sign of love.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we'll do this here real quick. So oops. I meant to do this one. No, switch scenes. Okay.
What's the name of our ship
There it
again
is.
that we've just
Yeah.
been assigned to?
USS Surprise.
And is that said with like a smirk?
Surprise! No, no,
Drop out of warp?
no smirks.
Surprise!
Yeah. You guys go. Kullat and Thrall. So you guys get all the. Some of you on the bridge and some of you on engineering, or is everybody on engineering at this point?
We're all we're all carrying it back. We're all kind
Yeah.
of a squad. We're
So
familiar with each other at this point.
yeah, you get them back to engineering with no issue. and you find a place for them to go in the storage, maybe one of the cargo bays. So what are we doing?
What did the captain say that we needed to put this again? Click, click. Captain, what are we doing with this equipment?
Is that it? Did you just tap your shoulder?
I clicked this, yeah.
Oh, sir, go ahead.
That's awesome! Yes, Captain, this is Commander Maricadi. We're in the engineering deck with the required supplies. Who are we reporting to?
If you want to just go ahead and put those in cargo bay 4, that's fine. There's extra space there.
Roger that, Captain. Furthermore, as a addition to our report, we encountered a suspicious box from a Ferengi within the space station. It contained a strange golden idol that seems to be beyond identification. Would appreciate a team on this case so that we could identify this and perhaps continue our investigation, as it seems that this has become our problem, Commander, or Captain, rather.
A team, sir? What do you mean a team?
Team, so to speak. Hopefully we can get some records on this identification. I'll just speak with someone well versed in alien anthropology.
Okay. Where did you get this said idol?
So, like I detailed in my report, Captain, the Ferengi that we encountered in the space station dropped the box containing this strange item, which we then reported to the local security section, who would refuse to take it, thus leaving us responsible for the box, Captain.
Yeah, that sounds like Klingon security. Unless there's proof of a crime, they're pretty strict on handling anybody's business or dirty work. Gregory, you have the ships and its scanners to your disposal. I assume you're going to handle this in proper Starfleet manner?
Oh, of course, all within due procedure and regulation, Captain. I appreciate your advice on this going forward.
Understood, sir. If you have any questions,
sir,
I'll be around the ship.
Thank you, Captain. This is Commander Maricadi out. All right, so we'll set the boxes down here, gentlemen. I'm gonna see if we can get see if I have access to any of the ship's records. Actually, Kullat, if you could access the database here regarding alien anthropology, perhaps you would surmise some sort of rationale for what civilization this might be, or give us some clues on the origin.
I'll take some scans and begin.
Thank you, Commander. Meanwhile, I'm gonna reminisce with Thrall on how the Klingon smelled and what kind of feelings we had about it.
Kullat, if you want to give me a reason and science difficulty 2, and if somebody else would like to do the ship roll,
I got it. Yeah.
You're gonna roll sensors in science.
I got one success, guys. Nice job.
Okay.
Best man for the job.
Yes. So how would you like to use that extra momentum?
For extra informations?
Extra informations it is. Okay. So, do this.
Commander, I have preliminary findings for you.
Oh, very good, yes. Go ahead with, I need to get out of these awkward conversations.
There appears to be circuitry built into the gold structure of the idol. Overall, it appears itself to be some sort of mechanism that attaches to a larger one and locks into place. It seems to have some sort of strange effect on the surroundings in which it's placed. I don't understand exactly what that effect might be yet.
Interesting. if you're unfamiliar with what the effect might be, but might this warrant more study, or perhaps is this something that is a trap laid by Ferengi that we're about to spring?
It could warrant further study.
So perhaps in a closed environment, this might be better to experiment with, as we don't know the ramifications of this, activation, so to speak, of this object.
Prudent, Commander, and it, while having an effect of its own, it does seem part of a larger whole.
Could the subject of the statue give us some clue as to what it might do?
You asking me? Oh, sorry.
Let me look further in the ship's database to see if there's any cultural significance. So then I'd be plugging in, I don't know, taking my scans,
Right.
transferring them to the ship computer, and having it run against known cultural icons.
Meanwhile, Kaval, if you could also see about opening this object up. Apparently it's made of some circuitry and perhaps some engineering that your expertise would detail.
Well, I take a look at it. Obviously, I'm going to be extremely cautious. I don't want to damage it in any way.
Mhm.
Does it look like it has any sort of release?
It does not. No, it just looks solid to you.
I
Like
whack
completely
it once
solid.
on the table.
Whoa, hey, Kaval, hey, what, I
Do not do that.
Okay, I thought you were serious. Whoa.
It dents the table. It's pretty solid.
It activates and you all die.
Yes. Somebody could do a ship roll for me. Computers and science.
Okay. I can do most of that stuff. I have it up pretty much 24/7.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
all
right.
using momentum to remove that. Wait, I don't. Man, I hate having like 12 games we play. The momentum spends for removing complication cost 2. Can be used after a successful task. Cost 2 momentum. Can I use momentum to remove that complication from the surprise anyway?
You
Either
no,
that or
you
Kullat.
don't.
Oh, I
That's
don't know.
Kullat.
Yeah.
That's for Kullat, not
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, just make sure. So we
Yeah,
can remove that complication.
If that was, yeah, he could if he wanted to.
That's what
I didn't generate any, but I can use that existing momentum to do that.
To remove the threat.
The complication.
Wait.
Oh, the
Yeah, I
complication.
thought- Was it
Yeah.
DC2? Sorry, was I mistaken?
It was DC2. Yes.
Okay, so then we had 3 successes total, so we generated 1 momentum. So now we have 2 momentum in the pool, and we can use that to remove the complication. Is that how that works? I think that's my thought process anyway.
Yeah, it costs 2. Yep.
Right. So we use that 2 momentum that the only momentum we have.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
And Hades, my response does not change.
Okay.
Okay.
Commander, I'm not seeing any connection between this idol and any known religious icon within the database.
Perhaps not a religious icon. Then, if it doesn't come up in the database, then I mean, this came from a Ferengi, and it's not religious in nature. Perhaps cross-referencing this with any, perhaps, animal recognition or zoology. Perhaps identifying this within some sort of culture that we have available. If that's not the same thing, Admiral out of game. I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to.
It would probably. Basically, if he ran the scan on the image or the likeness, it would have scanned the entire database.
And it came up with nothing.
So yeah, and it would have included
Okay.
not just
Culture.
religious, but also cultural icons as well.
Can we get a reminder of what it actually looks like?
Yes, you can. Let me go
I'm
back.
picturing
up
like a
here.
monkey from Indiana Jones, but
It's kind of
probably not.
no.
Probably not that.
So the box it came in was just a normal box, but on the inside This idol seems to be look like some sort of alien race, almost humanoid in appearance. It has 4 arms, and it has like a cranial crest coming from the top of the head all the way down to the middle of the arms. And it's solid gold. So, I mean, not too much detail in the actual idol itself, but enough to tell that it resembles a humanoid figure, but with 4 arms.
Interesting. Oh, you sent. Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
well,
that was you.
that's. I mean, you and Thrall can use that later in the bar to let your little lady friends know that you're interested. Is it pronounced the Horgon? Am I pronouncing that right? It's the idol from Risa. Organ, I think is what it's called. Yeah, but I mean, that when I read this, it kind of resembles that, but that's not it.
You know what? So, upon hearing that, Kullat, thank you for your discovery. I'm gonna blip the commander again. So go ahead, sound effect, please.
Oh, you're contacting the commander?
Captain, yeah. Captain, this is Commander Maricadi again. It looks like we cross-referenced this idol, this figurine within the box itself, and we're not getting any details on the in the database. Concerning, especially since this came from a Ferengi individual, perhaps warranting more investigation.
Understood, Gregory. Perhaps you should find the previous owner and ask him.
Very good, Captain. I'll keep you updated along the way. We will be dispatching as an away team, as our squad has already been very familiar and works really well together.
Understood, Commander. I appreciate you keeping me apprised.
For that, over and out. Gentlemen, it looks like we have no additional information that Starfleet can provide, and therefore we must do what we do best and explore and discover. So, our next detail is to uncover the details on that Klingon.
Bravo!
Stop clapping! I'm not done yet, Kullat. Therefore, we're going to reach out to the Klingon security team. Hopefully they have more details with us, and if not, perhaps we can flex our muscles, so to speak, in order to obtain what we need to obtain. Furthermore, once we find the origination of this idol, perhaps further documentation and discovery is necessary. I don't want to open this thing without knowing what it can do. So, without further ado, I believe we are off unless anyone has any questions or concerns.
I do, Commander. Will we leave the idol here?
That is a great question. It's a great question, Kuval, and to which I have no answer. And thus I look to you all as a vote, per se. I believe that we could use this idol along the way for conversation or perhaps identification, but at the same time it might be better placed on the starship. Although if it were to activate, it might fall into the same idea of the trap. So, my vote would be to take it with us. But I wish to hear from the rest of my crew.
Do we know if there's a quarantine area on the station?
On the station? Oh,
yes.
That's a good question. I don't. Perhaps
Unless
we could.
we think the storage area here is secure enough.
And that's the concern there. And all the security station, it looks like any quarantine area wouldn't suffice, as the Klingons seem to be in charge of that, and they don't seem too keen on helping us with that regard. So I wouldn't trust, even if they did have a quarantine area, we'd be allowed to use it. And then on board the ship, I think even within the storage area, it runs the same risk of being perhaps activated while we are unaware or unavailable, and causing further harm to the ship and its population. As if we have many families on board here, we don't want to risk their lives in the event that this is hostile. But again, if anyone has any suggestions on moving forward within the ship, otherwise we're going to be taking it with us.
Question for Admiral then.
Go ahead.
Is there any sort of bag or something we could carry this in, like a pack, so we don't have to?
Yeah,
hold it in our
Starfleet.
hands all
Yeah,
the
Starfleet
Secure
has.
container.
They have kind of like sometimes on different away missions, things like that. They have different storage bags or cases, if you will. Whatever you prefer. If you prefer to
Kinda
carry a
mentioned it,
case or something on your back, they have both available. And if not, you could always just replicate one.
Can we get one with a handcuff so that
What color would you like? Pink? It would go good with your blue skin, Tathak.
I'm sure the commander could carry it and put the pink handcuffs on. I'm sure his Klingon girlfriend would appreciate that.
I think she would like the furry, fuzzy ones.
Kaval, you sound quite jealous of our interaction. Do you wish to perhaps take a load off? Maybe rest for a few missions? Just kidding.
Not at all,
right,
Commander.
anyway.
I spoke out of turn. Please, excuse me.
No, I appreciate your humor. It's welcome, I will say. Therefore, we will. Well, without further ado, let's head out. We need to take this with us. And all, you have a secure container we can store this thing in before we leave. We don't want this thing activating.
Can we store it in a Camtono?
What?
A Camtono.
How dare you curse at us?
A who?
What
Oh,
is
I'm
a
sorry,
camp?
That's Star Wars.
Oh, you're sick.
Wow.
You're sick. Somebody beam him out into
Get out.
space.
Get out.
Get-
Ice
I-
cream
get out.
maker that the guy on Bespin's carrying when he runs down the hall.
Uh-oh.
I take a toolkit and take the tools out and put it in the kit, and we'll transport it in that. It looks. What could be more mundane?
Yeah, it's just a black
Very
case
well.
with the ship's designations on the side.
Incognito and secure. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Step back into the station, gentlemen. Be sure to grab a snack. We might be out for quite some time. And I do not wish to pay, nor can Starfleet pay for any meal breaks that you may take outside of the starship.
What? No per diem?
Nope.
I don't. That's not true at all. Probably.
Food is free. Just go to the Replimat.
Yeah, but
Just go to the
Anyway.
Replimat and you'll be fine. Move all you guys back to your little spots here. Where the incident first occurred. And then, all right. There you go. So, you guys are back at Narendra Station, back where you started.
Who's carrying the case? Who's up for it?
if no one else volunteers, I will do so. My responsibility.
I don't know. You could be juggling Klingon. You might need both hands.
You mean she'll be
Well-
juggling him?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Hey, with my permission. Okay, I'm
With-
helping her. You know, I'm assisting her in lifting me up.
Yes, of course,
Ah.
of course.
Consent is always vital. It's always key.
So where are we headed, Commander?
Sorry, my bad. So, let's head out to the station then, gentlemen. And I look at Tack Thrall, think about saying something about the Klingons, and just turn in my head, kind of embarrassed. I'm gonna say something. Red
Do we go
face.
talk to the Klingon first, or?
No, we're not talking to
Sorry,
the Klingon.
I meant the security. I meant the
Oh,
security
okay.
chief.
Okay. Yeah. How long has it been? Well, I guess I should say, Admiral, I assume we are going to be waiting or during our process, we take about an hour or two to rest, debrief, eat a little snack, do some basic R&R on top of the drop-off, and then heading back out to the security station in order to procure the video feed.
Yeah, I'd say it's been about 2 hours.
Okay. So we're heading to the security station first, then. And get thrust upon a roll, probably. Get slammed. Oh.
Oh gosh.
Sounds like fight music.
Oh. Okay.
You guys are all coming into security then, huh?
How did you get in there, Kaval?
To the door. Look.
Through the door. Classic. Greetings,
'Kay.
security detail. It's Commander Maricadi. We met before.
He looks at you, kind of stares for a second, looks at his console and pushes a button. And then from another room, another Klingon comes out, but you can tell he's got a little bit more rank because the other Klingons turn when he walks into the room. And in walks Captain Clog. And he walks forward and he says, "Are you the Starfleet that asked my men to run the video feed?"
That's correct. And who am I speaking with?
I'm Captain Clog, the temporary security man in charge here.
Very well, Captain Clog. Temporary?
Temporary. I'm waiting for my ship to arrive.
Ah, of course. A great honor to join a ship once again. Captain, what seems to be the issue?
We watched all of the footage of your friend and your close encounter. He's been running around all station. He docked his shuttle over at Docking Bay 94. And he was seen coming from the airlock with that box in his hand. So he came from his ship with it in his hand. Same clothes, just as frantic looking. He was running all over the station, but he kept going in and out of Friend's Tavern, our local Ferengi bar. He was consistently seen with that box. After he runs into all of you, we followed him back into that bar. At one point, in between some time, you humans, were in our security bay at the time. He had stuck his little measly head out of the bar. He must have been looking for you. He was worried. And he popped back in. And we have not seen him since.
Very, very well. Captain, also keep in mind, not all of us are human. Although, I will forgive your transgression at this time. Now, granted, you've provided us with sufficient information, but I must ask, out of Airlock 94, that ship, did it depart? Or did it remain docked?
He turns and shoves his lesser out of the way, and he taps on the keyboard or the console, and he says, "It is still here and has not been accessed for quite some time."
Very well. Captain Clog, we would request access to investigate this ship, or at least investigate the inside, perhaps granting us an inspection.
Give me a reason or presence and command, difficulty 3.
I guess I did.
He kind of walks up to you. "I'll tell you what I'll do for you, Starfleet." And he grabs you around the shoulder, and he kind of rustles you a little bit, kind of like a creepy cousin named Eddie might do. "I will grant you access to his ship, but you may not take anything out. You can only look around. You not access his computers, as we do not know that any crime has been committed thus far.
Of course.
If you would rather, in you and your Starfleet methods, how about I just scan the station for you instead? There are not that many Ferengi around. Just tell you where they are."
Very well. I would appreciate that. Let's go ahead and scan. We'll see what that scan yields.
So he turns up, and the screen kind of goes black for a second on the console, and then 6 different entries show up. And he kind of steps to the side, and he points to the console screen, and he says, "There you have it. We have 6 Ferengi on board. We have 2 located in Friend's Tavern, 2 that are in separate quarters of the station, one is in the Replimat, and then one is in sick bay.
Andal, are you getting all that?
Yes, sir. By my count, that is only 4. 2 in Friend's Tavern, 1 in the Replimat, and 1 in sick bay.
And 2 in their own station quarters.
2 in their own quarters.
Sorry, I thought I said that. Maybe I didn't.
Maybe I misunderstood you as well.
Yeah, like their own private hotel room, kind of.
Mm-hmm. And finally, we've asked a lot of you if we could just get those coordinates on our data pads here, or tricorders, so we can proceed to the destinations.
And
I think Matt already have it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys would know where the Replimat is. You know where Friend's Tavern is in sick bay, and he would just simply give you the 2 room numbers to where the other 2 are located.
Very well.
Pardon me, Klingon. Could I ask for a clarification? The 2 in the private quarters, are they together or are they separate?
They are separate, one in each room. However, the rooms are right across from each other, so they are probably together.
Understood. I thank you.
You're welcome, Andorian.
Captain Klog, as a wise Klingon once said, a leader is judged not by the length of his reign, but by the decisions he makes. You made a quite just decision today, and I appreciate your efforts. We'll be on our way.
Bravo! Bravo! You are killing it today, Commander.
In honor of our relations, come find me later, Commander.
Oh.
And he gives you a solid pat on the back. It probably kind of knocks the wind out of you.
Yeah. Yes. Very well, Klog. I'll meet you. I'll meet you after.
After the Klingon female.
Oh. Then we may not see each other for quite some time, Commander. And you may want to take your medical officer with you.
Yes,
I don't know if you're into that sort of thing, but you'd have your hypo spray on standby.
I can appreciate different cultures, Captain.
A man of honor certainly attracts fine women. He turns and he walks back into his office.
Please, enough of the praise. I'm gonna have a heart attack. All right, Starfleet. So let's head now. Looking at our locations that we have left, this Ferengi that traced us seems to be back at this Friend's Tavern. Maybe that's our best shot here in terms of locating or identifying this symbol. This
I would agree, Commander. We appear to have numerical superiority. Your English words are so hard to pronounce. I think now would be the time. Strike while the iron is hot, Commander.
Yes, of course. Yes, I appreciate your enthusiasm. Let's move now to Friend's Tavern.
Friend's Tavern is located on the north side of the station. So if you all make your way up there.
Okay, well, yeah.
So it'll be the 2 doors to your south.
Yep, looks like a tavern in there.
You going in?
I think so. There we go. I set it out because it was lagging a little bit. There we go.
All right. So
Like a high-class joint.
it is a high-class joint. So before you guys get anywhere, the second you all walk into the bar, all of a sudden, sirens go off, confetti starts falling from the ceiling, lights are flashing, bells are going off, and you have 2 Ferengi that are making their way towards you. One looks almost like he's got a disgusted face, and the other one, he just looks as happy as can be, just so excited. And let me show you what they look like here. Hang on. So the excited one is obviously on the right. The unexcited one is on the left, and they're in exquisite Ferengi attire. Did you guys see the artwork? I don't know if it posted.
Oh, yeah, okay. Cool.
So that's basically their facial expressions as they approach you. And the second he gets to you, he kind of waddles up and he's got his hands in his air and he's like, congratulations, human. As the co-owner of Friends Bar, I am so excited to congratulate you. You were all the 10 million customers in our bar, and to show our appreciation to you, we've got some things for you. And two Dabo girls, scantily clad, walk up, and they hand you 2 vouchers of free drinks. They each hand you a drink, and Bach is the name of the happy Ferengi, and he hands you 3 each strips of latinum to be used at the Dabo tables. And
hold on a second here, Bach. If I know anything about Ferengi culture, this is not without price. This seems awfully generous. I must refuse.
You can't do that. And then the second bar owner walks up, and that's the one that's kind of got the disgruntled face on. And he's like, I said the same thing. We don't need to be giving away anything free, and here my cousin thinks it's a good idea to pay our customers back. I'm okay with you giving items back to us. Do as you wish. And the other one's like, kind of looks at him like, but I set this up just for these guys, the winners.
Listen, I set my drink down on the bar, not taking a single sip, and underneath with my vouchers and whatever else they decided to give me. I look back at my team to see if they're doing the same, but then I continue forward. I don't even pay much attention. And I say, listen, we're looking for a certain Ferengi that may have came here very recently and perhaps was carrying...
Go on.
Now, without disclosing too many details, we have this idol in our possession that a certain Ferengi had misplaced, and we wish to return it.
So while you were talking, when I was motioning, several different Dabo girls come up and they kind of hang on to Thok, and they kind of hang on to Thrall. And now another one is walked over to Andal as well. And on the walkway above, you see your 2 Klingon females, but they haven't noticed you yet. The Ferengi you're talking to right now is the bar owner. And he looks at you and he says, I know his name. But I'll tell you what, human. Those strips of latinum that I gave you, you walk right over there to that Dabo table, and you spend those strips of latinum, and I'll tell you everything you want to know about your little friend.
Well, I know how you like making deals. Humor me. What's your name? The other one was Bach, but your name?
My name is Fryn. This is my tavern.
Very well. Oh, Friend's Tavern. Very well. I will oblige and adhere to your customs. However, this is a deal that we are making. Just want to make that clear with you.
Human, you know us Ferengi. We know how to make deals. We'd never swindle anybody. Go spend my latinum, and we will talk.
Very well. Very well.
And rule of acquisition number 166. Never give away for free what can be sold. He turns and walks back behind the bar, and Bach, his cousin, he's still beaming. He's still excited to see you guys, that you have won, and he's just kind of standing there next to you.
Bach is still standing next to me?
Yeah, he's just standing there, or yeah, just happy. He's kind of waiting for you guys.
Was there any reaction when the commander took the idol out of the case?
No.
I didn't yet. I didn't show
I thought you held it up.
No, I just said I have this idol in possession, and I said without disclosing too many details. I kind of want this, so I guess, and metagaming here a little bit, there's out of game. I want to arrange this like we're going to this, like, we're not giving away too much because I don't want a Ferengi to steal it, because it's made of gold. You know? So, I don't want somebody to steal it. I want them to prove that they are the owner by telling me what it looks like. You know what I mean?
Got it.
But you guys wouldn't know that. I'm just saying. That's my. I could probably tell you or give you a brief. So anyway, so I turn back to my team, and I say, "Be careful. We don't disclose any more details than what's necessary. Let's keep the physical description of this idol under wraps until we get a full disclosure from the individual in question."
Of course.
Very good. Now, please set your drinks back down on the bar. We're working here. And I kind of look at Thrall, who was probably about ready to chug it down. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Probably trying to drown away his emotions. All right, gentlemen. And I turn, and I guess it's our turn to play. And I head to the table.
So the table obviously is the roulette-looking table in the south there, on the bottom
Kullat's
corner. Yeah.
Kullat's probably looking pretty, Vulcan. So I look at him and I say, Commander Kullat, please, what do they say on my planet? C'est la vie, you know. When in Rome, please come sit down and play a few games.
I'm not much gambling, sir.
And I'm not much of a gambler myself.
As they say, the house always wins.
True you are. Logical to logical. So I sit down and I look around and I see, very well, anyone a gambler by chance?
And there's already a couple people up there, and Bach walks around to a few others that he'd given the latinum strips to, So Tathak, Thrall, Grax. You guys gonna go play, go spend your latinum, And he wobbles up to the dabo table where the girls are.
And I kind of humor him a little bit. And I look around and I'm, please come. Fight a. When can you say you fought a Starfleet commander and won? Let's gamble.
Let us do it.
I'm trying to rouse people up a little bit. But sorry, go ahead.
Admiral, I'm taking a look at the corners of the room, in the shadows.
Okay.
You said there's a walkway.
Yeah.
Looking for anything suspicious, anyone of interest.
Do me a reason and security difficulty 2.
Security difficulty. Okay, I got the reason, I got the security. How do I make it a difficulty 2?
That's just me. So you were looking for 2 successes. So
Okay.
your dice is going to be 2. It's standard. So you just leave the dice number at 2, and then you'll click roll.
Okay, so I've chosen reason and security, and now I just roll. Was it 2 dice 6, or what am I rolling?
So you have reason and security selected. You'll click on perform task. And
okay, got it. 2, roll dice.
so yes, and since you're still learning and everybody else is still learning, if you feel any one of your focuses might fit the situation, you can use that as well. So if I'm glancing at your focuses real quick here, combat tactics might fit. You're kind of looking around, you're assessing the security situation. So when you guys suggest your focuses, I'm just looking for explanations kind of like that. So I think this would fit here because of this. So I'm just assisting you. So what that means is if you do that and you do it before you roll, declare it before you roll, when you have that dice pool screen up after you've clicked perform task, click use focus. and if you roll, and your roll, any one of your rolls is below what your security number is there, it counts as 2 successes. It counts as a 1. So that's the point of the focus. Since you have the skills, you're better. You're more likely to have success.
I gotcha. Okay, can I do that? Can I use combat tactics in this?
Yeah. That's why I suggested it was kind of like a little
Okay,
bit of a
all right.
walkthrough for you. That. So
Oh,
you
so I got
see,
3. That's
yeah.
good,
So
right?
your focus did work. So you did have 2 successes. Okay. So you look around the room. There are a lot of dark corners, but everybody seems to just be enjoying themselves. Either just have drinks in front of them, they have company in front of them. Both all sorts of alien races inside the bar. The only 2 on top of the walkway are your lady friends. And when you guys start walking towards the Dabo table, they notice you and their eyes get big and they have real big grins.
Oh.
And where's the case right now?
It's in my possession. So I guess it's pink handcuffed to my side here. Probably pink fuzzy handcuffed.
Ooh.
Probably
Yeah.
pink fuzzy cheetah print handcuffs.
I'm keeping an eye on the case, the location of the case at all times.
Okay. Who's all gonna? What's everybody doing? Are you guys playing some Dabo? Some Dabo?
I guess I'm at least playing, but if not,
Kullat's gonna follow over to the table and kind of
you're gonna count cards.
he's gonna be watching, kind of serious, arms behind him, just like he's paying attention, and he's gonna ask the Dabo girl or whoever's running the table how the game is played.
And so your standard Klingon seriousness and all. She would explain it to you. There are actually no rules. I did look it up. There's no rules for Dabo. It essentially is like a version of roulette. You place your strips of latinum on certain numbers, and the wheel spins, and you either win or you lose based on what that spin is.
Is it possible to lose any more than you've bet on the table?
And the Dabo girl, she kind of the dealer, she doesn't say anything, but her friend, who is also kind of standing around the table, doing her normal distraction with the uniform or the lack thereof, and she kind of walks over to the Vulcan and she puts her hand on him and she says, "No, whatever you bet."
He would politely kind of step away from the touch.
And she would move over to Andal's side at that point.
And then at this point, Kullat would just kind of be standing, not making it obvious, but he'd be inspecting the game mechanism to see if there's anything peculiar about the way it's operating.
Well, it hasn't been ran yet, but if you're just looking for something maybe out of the ordinary.
I mean, if anything stands out already, but that's basically what he'd be watching, is waiting for it to be spun or whatever happens and seeing if there's anything peculiar about its function.
Yeah, right now, like, without the game running, everything looks just like a standard Dabo table might. Okay, everybody, go ahead and place your bets. Come on. And she motions over towards Grax to kind of get him over here. She motions towards the Thok. She's kind of like waving you over.
Were we all given each of us the same amount?
Yeah, you were all given 3 latinum strips. Yes.
Okay. I would just go ahead and put all of mine down right away.
Okay.
Oh my god, this is not fair. This fucking Betazoid's playing game.
It's a game of chance.
No.
What's he gonna figure out?
I'm not saying anything.
I
I
do
don't
the
care. He's
same.
gonna figure it all out.
Wherever.
Oh yeah, read the.
Sorry, go ahead.
Nope, ignore me.
I was just going to say, wherever the Betazoid just put his bed, I put my 3 strips of latinum on as well. And go back to monitoring the room, looking at the case.
I'm a bit more conservative with my spends. I spend 1.
Spend 1. Okay. All right.
I offered all 3 of my strips to the bartender in order to get behind the bar so no one can touch me anymore.
And it's okay. So Friend is like, what is your name? What is your name?
My name? My name is that what you're asking?
That's what I just said. What is your name?
Oh, Lieutenant Commander Zemtak Thrall at your service.
Thrall, Zemtak Thrall. You know what? I will take those 3 strips of latinum. And he kind of pours you a beverage, sets it down, and he's like, come on back behind the bar. But if you're back here longer than 5 minutes, I'm going to make you start serving these customers.
Oh no, that's what I'm asking to do. Until they want to leave.
I'll take free service at any point. Come on back.
All right. Start shaking.
Rule of acquisition 135. The only value a collectible is what you can get somebody else to pay for.
Yes, amen, and also with you.
Okay, so we spin in the Dabo table. She says, okay, all bets. Table's going to be closed. She looks around. And your Klingon females have started to walk down the steps at this point. And she spins the wheel. She spins the wheel, everybody. And the Dabo girls, they scream and they laugh and they start patting you guys on the shoulders. And she says, "You guys are winners." And where Lieutenant Commander Tathak and Andal both placed their latinum strips, it was a 5-1 win. So all of a sudden, she starts stacking extra latinum strips up there. And Commander Maricadi, yours was simply 1-1, but she places her latinum strip up there, and she says, "Okay, let's place the bets. Let's place the bets."
Oh, this is quite fun. I didn't think I'd have such a good time. Oh, yes, a drink. I look for a drink, and I see Thrall like shaking his finger, and I'm very well, man of many talents.
Okay.
Andal, let it ride?
Yes, I don't see why not.
Let it ride.
Right, okay. Anybody else have bets?
I put another one. 2 down this time. I'm feeling a little feisty.
Okay. Tathak and Grax, if you guys can give me a control and command difficulty 2 real quick. Okay, so the 2 Dabo girls that are standing next to you both, Andal, you are able to maintain your composure. Tathak, you're starting to sweat a little bit. Maybe it's the attire that they're wearing. Maybe it's been a while since you've seen a Dabo girl, but you're losing your composure just a little bit. You're starting to get a little distracted.
I'm very much chagrined. This is not proper bearing for a Starfleet officer.
So, Thrall, your female Klingon friend joins you at the bar, and Commander Maricadi, yours comes up, and she's standing next to you, and she's pretty much like on you, like sandwiched on you, and she's got her arm around you, and she says, "You've won. Now let's keep going. Come on." She kind of slaps the table and rustles you a little bit, And the Dabo table lady looks at everybody and she's like, "Okay, tables are closed. Tables are closed. We're gonna roll again." And she spins the wheel. She spins the wheel. And you guys all win again. And Kullat, if you could give me a reason and security difficulty 1.
Roger.
And so she starts stacking more Latinum strips up to Maricadi, to Tathok, and to Grax, and she's loving it. You know, she never gets winners at her table for some reason. Let's see here. What was your roll?
0.
Oh, okay. And Thrall, you're at the bar, so why don't you give me a reason and security difficulty 1 as well?
Alrighty.
Okay. How would you like to spend that?
In alertness, I guess.
Okay. So since you're standing at the bar, after they win a second time, you notice your barmate, obviously the bar owner, Fryn, he starts to look a little worried. Like he's not understanding how they are winning. And at one point you see him kind of going like this, and then you kind of see my hand. He's kind of motioning like somebody would if you're pushing a button underneath a table, right? And he's kind of like this. And you're able to see that the Dabo girl, she kind of shrugs her shoulders like, "That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing." And out of nowhere, Thrall, you start to hear a big laugh, like a deep laugh. And it's a Klingon. He's standing at the entrance. And he just starts laughing, and he turns and starts to walk away, and he's like, "I thought your tables were rigged. Ah, ha, ha." And he walks off into the distance. And so now you have your ladies around you, and what would you like to do?
I think it's about time we cash in.
Okay.
Right. So, friend, I take a drink. Thank you for your hospitality. These old bones are getting a little sore, so I think I might just take my leave.
Your bones are sore. Well, you better not tell your friend across from the bar from that. You might want to drink a little more and maybe start stretching and limber up. She seems like a winner.
Yeah, yes, very much so. Well, thank you, and yeah, I'm beelining it towards my friends here to let them know what's going on.
Beeline it. Tried to avoid her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, Thrall, you seem to be in quite haste. Everything okay?
Oh, everything seems to be just fine. However, I think what we're doing here we shouldn't be doing, and we may want to take our facilities and be on our way.
And I'm just smiling when I'm hearing that. I'm like, very good, yes, ha 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 ha. I get up, laughing, ha ha, and I grab my my slips, and I give the slips to Andal and Kullat, or Kullat rather, Kuval, for Keval, and we need to back on track here. We need to continue our mission. So thank you for your time. Thank you for the hospitality. But we are cashing out.
And the Dabo lady looks a little sad, but she understands. Don't press your luck, right?
Don't press your luck.
I give her a strip of latinum as a tip.
And she properly puts it away.
Ooh.
And she says, "You may cash your chips in at the bar."
Very good. Thank you. And I proceed to the bar.
So Friend's standing there, and he kind of looks a little grumpy. The fact that his rigged system wasn't working in his favor. He's kind of sitting across the bar just like this, and he's like, "Well, human."
Well, we have strips to collect and some information you're willing to provide. Now, I'm willing to forego our payouts for a direct source to our dilemma.
So he taps the bar like this, like, "Pay up."
Boom, 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 boom. You know, we distribute. I probably put down all of our winnings, I imagine. Everyone does.
So
Correct.
he kind of sweeps it in, and he stacks it up nice and neat in front of him. And he says, "Okay, Starfleet. Deal's a deal. Your Ferengi name, your friend, is a Kullat. He's a merchant. He's famous in nearby circles for being a very rich entrepreneur. He had a pair of ships, a castle on Ferenginar, and this was all just in a few months. Came out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden he lost it. His wife left him, taking his 5 children. His mistresses, they left him, and they took all of his money as well. He lost 2 ships in a raid by the Dominion over at Deep Space Nine. And finally his castle on Ferenginar got knocked down in a storm. And an earthquake. That's your friend, the scraggly-looking Ferengi, right?"
Tragic indeed, but our friend, perhaps, where's he currently? We wish to speak with him.
So you see, he was a little frantic when he came into my bar last, and, well, you know us Ferengi, we stick together. And he points over to the Jeffries tube entrance, and he says, "He went that way, but you won't find him. Not there.
Then where?
He fell down the
Brock.
He fell down the shaft. He's in sickbay. Ha! He can't even escape."
Very well, so then we'll meet him in sickbay. I must say, your bar is, friend, your bar is nice. I appreciate it all the time. Thank you.
I know it's nice. Come on back anytime and bring some more latinum and spend it here while you're at it.
Might consider that. Very well, we'll take our leave. Thank you once again.
Thank you, friend.
And he's happy. He's happy you guys are leaving, but he's happy more because you've dropped off some money. So you guys are walking out, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay, so
I apologize to, as we're walking out, I apologize to anyone if I cut your fun short. I realize that we don't have a lot of time for recreation on Starfleet. However, it seemed like Friend was getting quite upset at what was happening on the floor, and I feared that if this lasted any longer than what we had already dealt, then there may have been an altercation.
Lieutenant Commander, there's no need for your apologies. You're making the right decision, and I applaud you for it. In fact, your initiative taken here was necessary.
I
So
agree with Zem. There was something very suspicious, something very unusual about the events of the past hour.
Absolutely. Let's just hope this eerie feeling that we all have doesn't carry us into this med bay and further confuse and shroud this mystery in more doubt. But I digress. To the med bay we go.
So the med bay is located to the north. Kullat, go ahead.
Just before we leave, did I notice anything odd about the game mechanism since I was watching?
No, you just would have. You would have noticed the same thing that Thrall did. That simply, she was making a motion in an attempt to rig the game, but it didn't seem to work.
I could tell that, though, that I thought she was trying to rig it, but it wasn't working.
Yes. standard Ferengi practices.
Of course. But, Kullat, you want to share that? Or...
Commander, before we reach Medbay, can we find a private spot so that I might inspect the idol again?
Yes. Of course, Kullat. I must ask, though, what do you hope to achieve?
It seemed that the Dabo girl was attempting something that wasn't going the way she had planned. I did not know exactly what the effect of the idol was at the time, and I still am not certain. However, I want to see if anything on the idol has changed that might be related to what was going on. After all, it was dropped by a Ferengi, and his odd recent history that was just relayed to us.
That's an astute observation. Yes, immediately. So we head over here to the nearest corner or back alley or something, and I set the case down, and I click, 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 pop it open, and I turn the case over to Kullat, position it in front of him.
So I would be using a tricorder and doing some scans on it, trying to see if I notice any change in the fields about it.
Okay.
That's cool.
Reason and security difficulty 3.
We don't have any momentum.
Not at this time.
Unfortunately
No?
not.
Nope. What's everybody else doing? Just hanging out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just hanging out.
Kicking rocks.
Which direction is the med bay in?
It's straight across.
Oh, okay.
I have one more
I see
question
now.
before I make my roll.
Okay.
How old? Did we get any feel for how old the item is, or looking at it? Does it seem like it's modern, or?
No, it seems older, but like in terms of like an actual age, it's probably maybe a couple hundred years old.
Because I have a focus in ancient technology.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, you can use that.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah.
All right, and that was reason and security.
Yes, sir. Sorry, science. Reason and science. I meant science.
Oh.
So you see nothing new or changed about the idol at its current state.
Unfortunately, I don't see anything different, Commander. We may continue.
Very well. No, that's Kullat. It's definitely important to check on this sort of thing. Perhaps this is our good luck charm. And I zip it back up. Click, 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 clunk.
Okay, I need everybody
Ultimate
to roll me a reason and security difficulty 0.
After all.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. We're going to do that. Okay, so as you guys, once you're done inspecting the idol, normal day-to-day people, shoppers walking around the promenade, but the second you close that up, all of a sudden you hear the merchant almost kind of catty-corner from you gentlemen, over there with the blue-colored canopy to the left of the sickbay door. You hear him start shouting that he's being robbed, and everybody but Thrall sees that a Bolian is pocketing items, and when the merchant shouts out, he kind of freezes in his spot. attack Thrall. You don't see anything because you're being distracted. Not really distracted. I don't want to say you're distracted. You're distracted by the Klingon female who has continued to love upon you.
Where is this guy?
He's going to be right across from you guys. So right where Forloth's name is on the blue canopy tent there. I don't have the ability to ping.
He doesn't hear it because there's a tongue in his ear.
Oh gosh. So that's funny. So I approach. I hear he says what? Stop thief. Is kind of the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, he's shouting, "I'm being robbed! Somebody help!" And he's got his hands in the air.
Now. Seems to be our
And as you are approaching, the Bolian that was pocketing items turns to run, but he trips. So those of you who are approaching, I need a fitness and security difficulty 1.
I'd have been keeping my distance.
Come on.
All right, Tathak, how would you like to... Basically, this roll was to see if you can catch him and secure him. So, how would you like to spend that, if you want to spend it?
Get your
Oh
mom.
no! Oh no, we lost him!
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh, there we are. Okay, you're back. Whew.
You
You froze.
you froze
Froze me,
there.
son.
You said catch him and
Catch him, man.
can you hear us?
Tathak,
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I didn't hear the rest of that.
What
So-
did you say?
you froze, so what you had said you said catch him and what? We didn't catch the last part.
No, that's what you said.
You froze for us.
Oh, I froze.
Yeah,
You
you
froze.
froze out there. Catch him, man.
Oh, sorry.
And that's it.
So
Yeah.
the role was to see if you catch him and secure him. So
Right.
what would you like to do with the... Do you want to use the momentum? Do you want to bank it?
Yeah.
I don't need to bank. I don't need to use it. I don't think. I mean, I've got it under control, right? I'll
You
bank
do.
it.
Yeah, you were successful. Yes. You were all successful in
Right, I
teaming
did
up
it
to
all.
apprehend him. So he trips. He ended up tripping on one of the merchant legs, and you guys easily overcome him and take him. And the Lorian merchant that's behind the little stand there, and he's like, oh, he just seems so thankful. And as you guys catch him, your Klingon security friends arrive, and they look at you and they say, Starfleet, we knew we could count on you. And they kind of lift him up, and they look at you. He was stealing items, right?
Well, this Lorian might have more details for you, but yes, we're happy to help in any way.
You did your part, Starfleet. And they both kind of grab one side of him and pick him up and head towards security. And then the Lorian merchant comes out, and he's basically groveling over you, especially you, Tathak, since you were so successful in your role. Oh, thank you so much. You've saved my business. You've saved my livelihood. I need to say thank you to you. And he pulls out an orange-colored isolinear rod, and he kind of hands it to you.
No, I cannot accept that. It is no more than any Federation officer would do in the
This
line
is-
of duty.
This is my prized possession. He's like,
But I would-
you need to
I would
take this.
I would advise you to hold on to it. I thank you for your graciousness. I thank you for your generosity. It was my pleasure.
And he pockets this, and he goes, okay, Andorian, what is your name? What is your name?
My name is Kuval.
Kubal. Okay, so in order to show you appreciation, I'm going to give you my firstborn. And it is a great honor to give you my firstborn. If you do not want my... And he dangles his isolinear rod. If you do not want my shuttle, I will offer you my firstborn. And if you do not take it, I'm going to lose great honor. You have done me such a precious gift. I need to repay you.
Commander?
I interrupt here. With all due respect, Lorian, our Starfleet customs demand that we are not able to take on any more personnel at this time within our ships. So, if there's something of equivalent value you would offer us for your, and then he's dangling that, so I grab that and I hand it to Kuval, kind of as the mediator here for a second, you know.
I'll get it washed and waxed and bring it right back to you.
So, it's in Docking Bay 1138, and it's a old refurbished Type 7 Federation shuttle. It'll look good on your ship. Once again, I thank you. I thank you all. Now I must go and tend to my customers. Thank you again. And he kind of turns and just steps behind his desk and starts assisting another customer that was attracted to his table due to the commotion.
Obviously, I want to make sure that these keys get back to him, or whatever it is.
I mean,
this access rod.
Hey, if he gave us the shuttle, I mean, we could just keep it. I mean,
Commander,
unless you want a kid.
Commander, you can't take the man's
Great
shuttle.
dishonor.
Well, here's the thing. We have to adhere to the Prime Directive, and if Mr. Lorian here is demanding that we receive his shuttle as compensation, who are we to deny and refute his customs? Granted, do I want this outcome? No. Have we used for the shuttle? Probably not. But at the same time, disrespecting his customs might be worse. But
Prime
at the same time,
Directive, Commander?
the Prime Directive? Well,
That's an interesting interpretation of the Prime Directive. I must ponder upon that.
you must ponder. Well, it's considered, normal. Anyway. Yeah, the psychology of that is another story, but, customs. Captain, this is Commander Maricadi. We seem to have been now in possession of a Type 7 Federation shuttle. We were gifted this from a Lorian merchant after saving him from a thief. Do we have room in the shuttle bay for the shuttle, Commander or Captain?
Commander, huh?
Sorry, Captain.
Commander, I'm not sure what's going on, but if you've acquired another ship, I won't deny it. Go ahead and bring it in when you get time. And he disconnects right away. He must have been busy.
Jeez. Okay, dude. Anyway. Let's see. Engineering, this is Commander Maricadi. We will be ejecting a shuttle out of airlock 82, or one of the airlocks on the side of the space station. Are you able to tractor this shuttle into our bay?
Not at the moment, Commander, because I'm with you, but as soon as I get
you.
there...
Engineering as a whole. Fuck you. And then I look at him, I give him like a death glare, and I kind of shake my head and then I wait for the engineering to respond.
This is engineering. Yeah, we can take care of that for you, Commander.
Thank you. I will relay the coordinates once they have been established. Just remain on standby.
Understood.
And then I give Kullat another glare, and I kind of laugh. I chuckle a little bit. So, let's continue to medbay and talk to this. Ando, what was this Ferengi's name that we were discussing? All these...
He's Kolarzell.
No.
Kolarzell.
Okay, so Kolarzell is the name of the man that we are seeing. So
yes,
we open up medbay, we head inside. I assume, unless anybody who doesn't want to, and then look for the doctor on standby, and I kind of look at Andal like he should take the lead in this situation.
Standboy.
Knowing procedures, but medbay. Standboy. Oh, God.
You're greeted by the medical officer once you guys walk in. Hello, how can I help you?
Hi, my name is Commander Maricadi, and I'm with my Starfleet crew consisting of Lieutenant Junior Grade Angel, Lieutenant Commander Keval, Commander Kullat, and Lieutenant Commander Thrall. We are here under Starfleet orders to investigate a certain device we picked up from a Ferengi. Do you have a Ferengi in your possession that we may communicate with?
We do have one. He's actually, he was just brought in. The emergency beamed him into our surgery bay. However, you won't be talking to him anytime soon. He's got a pretty big, he hit his head when he fell down the Jeffries tube. So we've had to put him in a temporary coma. So it might be a day or two before he comes out of it safely. If you like, Commander, I can certainly contact you when it's safe to bring him out.
Very well, that would be necessary. But perhaps could we investigate him while he's in his incapacitated state? I just wish to get my medical officer a full report on the status of this individual.
Is your medical officer present?
Yes, that would be me, Lieutenant Junior Grade Andal Grax. I would like to take a look at his records, if you don't mind.
Certainly. Yeah, come on in. I can't take you, as you understand, Lieutenant, due to the nature of his injury, I can't let you back to actually see him, but you could certainly have access to my station and bring up any information that you might like, or might need.
Yes, that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay.
I say to no one in particular. It certainly sounds as if Kolar Zell is having a bad run of luck. Wink, 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 wink.
Yes. Interesting you say that. Have you heard of the Earth tale of a rabbit's foot?
I have not.
Well, you see, it's this item that once held or obtained or acquired, it produces luck. As, unquantifiable as luck may be, it in fact creates and generates this said luck. Well, without it, it's said that luck turns sour. In fact, much worse than before.
How is that possible if it obviously wasn't very good for the rabbit?
It's merely a story, Kaval. Don't look too hard into it.
Of course. I'm attempting to understand your pink skin's your human mythology.
Jeez. Whoa, man. Take it easy. We're coworkers here. We need some sensitivity training or something? I forgo that comment for now. It's okay. I understand. But how would you feel if I called you Blue Skin? Now, we won't get into it, but...
I'm very proud of my skin color. Thank you, Commander.
Well, very good. Anyway, it's merely a story. Kaval, let's... In the meantime, let's just make sure we are in close possession of this object until we can discern its actual function.
Admiral?
Yes, sir.
Admiral, it
Yes,
is
sir.
now my primary directive to stay away from the case and the idol within, as far as possible.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm handcuffed to it, so I'm pretty good. I'm probably gonna die as soon as I let go of this thing.
Andal, you were gonna do something on the computers?
Yes, I just wanted to bring up Kolar Zell's records, anything they have on him, and his current status. Maybe see if there's anything I can do to speed up his recovery, even.
Okay. Yeah. So you're gonna use the space station's systems here. If you want to go ahead and give me a control and medicine check, difficulty 2.
Okay. Would my surgery focus apply?
Yeah, certainly.
You don't ask if it applies. You give a rationale on why it applies. Silly goose.
For purposes of surgery.
There you go.
I don't know.
Wow.
For understanding, looking at the medical charts. Yeah, certainly.
I'm just being a smartass. It's okay.
I know. Oh, there we go.
Perfect. So you're looking at these charts, and based off of everything that you see that their surgery was successful. However, he's got lots of swelling in his dome area. His left ear was kind of damaged as well.
Dome area.
His general dome area. And he, with the information you have, you might be able to assist to lower the swelling, but it still might be a day or two.
Apply a bandage to his Domus Maximus, please.
Domus Maximus. So,
Did you? Never mind.
Okay, yeah, it
Adrenaline?
seems like it'd be worth it. Then I would bring this up to the is it the medical officer of the station that's in?
Yes. Yep.
So I just kind of get their attention and point towards the screen and say, excuse me, if you follow this procedure here, you see maybe apply some I don't know, I can't think of any good medical terms at the moment to the cranial dome here. We may be able to reduce some of the swelling.
And he's looking at it, and he looks at you, and he kind of nods, and he's like, "You know what, Lieutenant? You're right. I'm surprised we didn't think of this." And he taps something on his console real quick. He's like, "I let my surgeons know they're going to go take care of it. I'll let you know when he's ready to talk. It should probably be less than 24 hours at this point."
Wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Glad to help.
Well done, Endo. Well done. Round of applause. Just me? Okay, then.
No, just
Yeah,
you.
You just start clapping.
I give a little bow.
Oh, I mean, I just flick like a golf clap.
That's
Anyway.
good. I like that. I like the clicks.
Gregory liked that. Very good. Well, I suppose there's nothing we can do at this time. But I wonder if there's anything else we can learn about him or this device in the meantime while we wait for his recovery. And I kind of ponder the room and see if anyone speaks up.
Oh, sorry, Commander. I wasn't really listening. I thought you were monologuing.
Not this
Captain,
time. I
Commander's log supplemental.
Commander's log supplemental. No, seriously, what the fuck? What should we do, guys? Thinking? Oh, yes?
Commander, this is Captain Rose. You and your crew, if you guys could all make your way back to the ship here, we're going to be leaving probably within the next 24 to 36 hours. Have the men, have them go to their stations, report in, and I'll have you meet me in my ready room.
Very good, Captain. I must advise that this object in our possession might have dire consequences if left on ship, and as well if it leaves my possession. I believe you may have been familiar with a rabbit's foot, and we believe we might have that one of these in our possession. I might advise us staying a little longer to talk to the individual who is in possession of this object, as he's currently in a medical coma, or rather, not a medical coma, whatever the name of the coma was. A coma! So...
Medically induced
can't talk
coma?
to him yet. Yeah. There we go.
So he says, the medical officer, he's with you, correct?
That's right.
Lieutenant Grax, you're able to erect a force field in sickbay, are you not?
Yes, I could do that.
Why don't we go ahead and do that? We'll secure it in there. And in the meantime, everybody can report to their stations.
Very well. Understood, sir.
Very well.
So I would immediately start working on that.
Okay.
I don't
You'll
know
have
if there's just a console nearby that I would have clearance to use and do that, or would I have to talk to the officer here?
Yeah, I mean, you could do it. You're Starfleet. He would allow you to do it. This is kind of a Starfleet sick bay. Klingons do have their own, so your clearance would allow you to do such.
Okay.
So wait, what did he ask us to do? Ask you to do?
Put up a force field around Kolarzel to make sure that once he does wake up, he's not able to escape.
No,
Gotcha.
around it was a force field around the box or the device.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
like
he
once you brought it on board, almost like in a quarantine manner. Like we'll use
said.
the force
not
field
here,
to try and correct.
but on the ship.
Yes.
Understood. Gotcha.
Although that might be advisable, Captain. I am worried that once this is out of my possession, that I will start experiencing the same amount of bad luck that ended up this Ferengi in a coma.
Noted, number one. You can bring it with you if you feel that it needs to stick with you.
Okay, thank you, Captain. I appreciate it. We'll head back immediately. And then I click, I look back at my crew. I guess we're off. Some neutral zone issue going on, I guess. I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
So you guys making your way back?
Yes,
Yeah.
and again, staying as far away from the commander as politely possible, without being too obvious.
So as you guys walk out, everybody's just kind of looking at you. They're just staring. Obviously, you've been the heroes of the station so far, and your Klingon females, they're kind of staring at you from afar, not wanting you to leave, but they still have a look of like, you better not leave. You guys still going back to the ship?
Yes,
Okay.
those were the orders. Correct?
Those were the orders. Okay, so let's see here. So you guys make your way back via the turbo lifts and the hallways to get back to the bridge. Let's see
I'll catch
here.
the next turbo lift. That's fine. It's fine.
Is something wrong?
I'll just wait for the next one.
Oh, okay. Perfect. So, as you guys make your way back into the bridge, Commander, you make your way towards the ready room. Kullat, you make your way back to the bridge since there is a science station to talk to engineering, unless you're going to the bridge as well at your engineering station. Thrall, yours is at the bridge at Conn, and Lieutenant Grax, you're on your way to sickbay. Unless you guys are telling me something different.
It works for me.
Oh,
Okay.
sounds good.
So, as you guys start to make your way there, since you were waiting to Thok, your turbo lift seemed to be a little delayed. Almost like it was either not working or it was just really being heavily used. But eventually you do make your way back to engineering. I'm gonna need everybody in your chat
Interesting.
type. Give me a roll 1d30.
How is that again? Is it //
/roll space 1d30.
Oh, that's a cool looking die.
Nice. I think. Is that good? No, that's not good.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, is one bad?
How's everybody rolling ones? All right.
Or is one good? Oh, one's good. Okay.
25, not so good.
All right. So where are we at here? Okay. So you all make your way back to appropriate stations. You're feeling a little loose. You had a nice little fun little R&R, and you make your way back to the stations, and you're starting to check in. Thrall, what are you doing, sir?
doing?
You just sitting at your station? You running through anything?
Yeah, I'm just sitting at the station, pretty much awaiting orders.
Waiting orders. Copy that. So as you're sitting at the station, this message comes across. Second to find it.
Initiating decoupling sequence. Auto separation in 10 seconds.
What?
So out of nowhere, you get the alert that the ship is starting to decouple from the station. You haven't done anything. You just sat down at that station.
Commander, the ship is decoupling. It wasn't manual.
Captain, the ship is decoupling. What's going on here?
He chimes in and he says, Thrall will take care of it.
Take care of it.
Right. So
You're a Conn.
Fine then. And he throws it into gear, and I suppose he safely decouples and or attempts to safely decouple.
I was just going to ask. So is that what you want to do? You want to try and keep the ship from decoupling, or do you actually want to decouple?
Well, I assume that since we've already started the process, that it would be safer to ultimately decouple, and then if we have to couple again, get back into the ship. So,
Okay.
I'm decoupling.
All right. So give me a control and con difficulty 2. Commander Maricadi,
Yes.
if you could ship assist with a engines and con.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my either my small craft or my extravehicular activity as a focus. If that's okay.
Okay. Yep.
Sorry, what did you need me to roll?
I need you to roll engines and con.
Gotcha, thank you.
So you start tapping along on your console, and you're able to gain control of the console and the ship, and you are able to safely keep the ship from being damaged. So basically, the locks that the station had a hold release, and the ship's just kind of floating next to the dock.
Interesting.
Well, I think we're fine. However, the locking mechanism on that coupler is defunct.
I think you would call that the Gwyneth Paltrow effect. Huh?
What?
What? You don't... That's a deep dive. Sorry.
Is there a Yanni egg involved here?
Okay. All right. So while Thrall was handling that...
Ship noises increase.
Ship noises, what?
It's just saying the ship noises increase.
Oh, did they go up? Commander Kullat. Let's see. Out of nowhere, you get the same you get a warning at your console. And it's the same female voice, and she states, "The deflector dish is creating a dampening field which will drain this power the Narenda's station's power." And it cuts off.
Oh,
So that's a dish that's on the station, not on our ship?
No, the ship's deflector dish is creating a dampening field that's going to start draining power from the station.
I would start looking at the instruments in front of me to confirm what that told me.
It has been confirmed.
Then I would start trying to counteract it.
Control and science, difficulty 2. Commander, give me a sensors in science. With the ship.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the momentums.
Okay.
Momentive.
Okay. So you're able to power down the deflector dish and stop the dampening field from being created.
Captain, we've had an issue with the deflector dish suddenly. I'll try to find the cause. It was going to sap power from the station, but I've stopped it for the moment.
Understood, Commander. Keep me apprised.
And I would go about that, seeing if I can figure out a cause or anything.
Certainly. And while you're doing that, and this is all kind of going on at the same time, we're going to go to engineering with Lieutenant Kathee. What are you worried about? What are you worried about?
Nothing.
Nothing? So you just make your way back into engineering?
Yes.
Okay. And while you're in engineering, you hear this.
Warning. Warp core collapse in 10 seconds.
That's not a good sound. Okay. Warp core. I use focus warp field dynamics.
Okay.
And obviously I want to use engineering. And
Warp core breach a lot sooner than you
yeah,
think.
okay. And control. Huh?
Okay, so yeah, that'll be control and engineering difficulty 2. Commander Maricadi, get me engines and engineering. I think that's right. Yeah, engines and engineering.
Oh, baby! Yes!
2 successes. Okay. All right. Okay. And you're immediately able to gain control and prevent the warp core from collapsing.
Captain, this is Lieutenant Commander Caval. I think it would be in the best interest of the ship if we were to jettison Commander Maricadi out of the nearest airlock immediately.
I'm sorry, what?
The box. I mean the case. The case he is carrying.
The case? What? What do you mean?
No.
You all keep.
It's not in the. It's in the sick bay. It's in the sick bay. In the there's a force field around it. Correct?
Did you take it to sick bay, Commander? Were you taking it, or were you? I thought you
I
were holding it on.
Have it.
I thought
Yeah,
you
I
still had it. Yeah.
Yeah. I
You
still
still
have it.
have
'Cause
it.
I was worried about getting rid of it, causing bad luck.
Beam that thing off the ship. Is my professional opinion.
That's your profession. I mean, if it's your professional opinion, you're definitely the expert in this field. However, please do elaborate a bit here before I jettison this out. What's going on?
We almost had a warp core meltdown for no apparent reason whatsoever. I have a bad feeling, Commander. Bad feeling.
Okay, very well, but very well. Okay. I open up the case again, and I reveal the idol. And does this Kullat? Does this look any different? Is there any way we could disable this? We're from the circuitry you've investigated before. Perhaps you might have a suggestion here that it might be better than jettisoning it out of here.
We're in the same. You're on the bridge.
Yeah, I'm on the bridge. I believe. Yeah.
Then I would
assume. Yeah.
I would do some scans of it, and if I can use the ship's computers to help.
Yeah. You'll give me a reason in science. Difficulty 3. Ship's gonna be sensors in science.
I'm looking for sensors in science.
And you said reason and science.
Reason in science, sir.
Is that 10? Is that 10 a success, or is the 2...
They're both successes.
Oh, okay. Is that what I needed, or I needed 3?
You needed 3.
Because I can re-roll 1. But if 2 only gets me 1 success, I don't know that I could get 2 more successes.
Up to you.
I mean, so I'd still be 2 successes.
Okay. So your scan reveals that the idol itself seems to manipulate its surroundings. And that's all you were able to get out of this scan.
Is there any, like, pushing that or using that to research further? I don't know how that really would work in this game. Like,
If you tell me how you want to scan this, but obviously differently from before, we can do another roll.
I mean, I guess I'm just like thinking of how you would investigate something anyway. Like, so the first, I'd be looking for any kind of general effects around it, and then now that I've confirmed there is an effect, I'd be looking more directly at that.
Okay, so you're kind of analyzing these manipulations or these kind of like waves that
Yeah,
this
like
seems to be emitting.
Right, like what kind of wave is it? Like, is it a radiation? Is it a whatever? I'd be checking further into that.
Okay, yeah. So same rolls for both you and the commander. Reason and science, difficulty 3, sensors and science from the ship.
I'll also use a momentum this time then.
Okay. And while you do that real quick, while that's all going on, over in sick bay, Lieutenant Junior Grade Grax, the second he walks in, the emergency medical hologram keeps appearing and disappearing. And so all you hear is, please state the nature. And then a second later, please state the nature of the medical, and it disappears again. So it obviously seems to be malfunctioning. The holo emitters or the EMH program itself seems to keep turning on and turning off.
Okay. I would address that through a nearby console, I guess, and see if I can troubleshoot it.
That'll be a control and engineering difficulty 1. And ship assist, commander. Computer and engineering.
Okay, I don't think I have any focuses that apply. So.
Okay. Thank you.
I guess we can use momentum to remove the complication if it was a success, but I don't know if that was a success.
It's part of the
Difficulty
role.
Yeah.
I'll count that. Since it's part of his role, I would include that. Yes. So
Okay.
if you want to spend momentum to get rid of that complication, you may.
I'll
Oh,
leave
and
it to handle.
was that for
This is
his or
yours.
mine? Because wasn't I supposed to get a ship roll too?
Yeah,
I did it
while
earlier.
you were doing that, I was jumping over to medbay real quick.
Yeah, I don't think I got that roll yet.
Oh, okay. Was there additional one than sensors science?
Yeah,
Can I
he was
check?
supposed to do reason and science, and you were supposed to do where to go? Sensors and science.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that then, since it's different than the one I just did. So
Okay.
we'll use that one for Andal, and we'll use sensors and science for this for his task. Kullat.
Okay. And while you're rolling, Kullat, I'm gonna finish the scene here with Grax. You are able to gain control of the medical hologram and get it shut off. without any issue. Actually, it was pretty simple for you to do that.
All right. Is there anything else that seems to be malfunctioning in the sick bay, or was that it?
There's nothing that seems to be malfunctioning, no. But if you want to give me a reason in security or reason in medicine check.
All right.
And Kullat, did you do your roll, sir?
Yeah, I got 2 plus the 1 from the ship roll gives me 3.
Okay. Let's see. So your secondary scans on the surroundings of the waves, you kind of get an idea that they have a distance to them, and it almost looks like its effective range is about 1 kilometer.
I've not yet figured out exactly what the effect of this idol is. However, I have determined that it has a reach of exactly 1 kilometer. I kind of say to everyone.
Range of 1 kilometer. Well, we should be able to get clear of that range in no time. However, if I get rid of this, is this going to still affect me beyond that range, or is this a disease of some kind? Maybe.
And Andal, with your search, you've noticed that some of your medical experiments, they've gone bad.
Huh. Am I able to investigate and find the nature of what's caused? Like if there's one single cause that's similar between all of the failures?
Yeah, you can do a reason in science, difficulty 0.
I think our choice is clear. Either we transport this thing into the middle of a star, or we try to contain it in the force field as originally intended. Presuming that's even possible, that would even work. Commander?
No, that sounds like a great idea. Thank you for your expertise on this matter. That's our option here. So let's get a force field around this. See if we can contain this sort of field or effect that's giving off. Perhaps we could calibrate this field for these sensors, for these signals. Now that we have awareness of these said signals, Kullat, Andal, perhaps we can coordinate something here and get this thing contained.
Right away, Commander.
Good idea. I'll erect a force field immediately.
So is that what you guys want to do?
Yeah, I'd say try a force field first.
Where is it currently?
I guess if there's a quarantine area in sick bay, we could try and use that.
Yeah, there's no real quarantine area. When you're in sick bay, once you erect the force field, it's kind of sets that area as its own quarantine, basically. So if you want to do that, that's fine. You can try that.
Okay. Did I learn anything from looking at my experiments that were all failing?
You did, and you have no idea why they went bad.
Okay.
So if you two are teaming up, tell me who is going to be doing the main work and who's doing the assist.
I will probably do the assist if it sounds like it's probably something that's more Kullat's specialty.
Sure.
Okay, so Kullat, if you can give me, we're going to do a control and science. Actually, sorry, control and security, since you're going to be erecting the force field, and you as well, Grax. That's going to be difficulty 2. Oh, there we are. Okay. So 1 and 1. So you are able to erect a force field around this, and from your preliminary scans, Kullat, you believe you've contained these waves, or this whatever it is that this idol seems to be giving off. The force field seems to be containing it.
Currently, our efforts seem to be effective. I'll continue to study the phenomenon.
Okay.
And I would do that. I would continue to monitor the force field and see if I can use that to further understand what it's actually blocking and get a better understanding of it, the whole effect then.
Okay. And while you're doing that, I'm going to jump over to Maricadi. Where are you at currently?
I'm on the bridge still.
You're on the bridge? Okay. Are you going to be staying on the bridge? Are you meeting the captain in the ready room? What are you doing?
I'm so I need to get this thing contained until I do that. So I'm waiting on them to, if they need my help getting this field up to contain this artifact. I'm here on standby until then.
Okay, understood. So
This device, not artifact.
this device. So the captain walks out of the ready room, and he says, "Commander, give me a report. What's going on here? Why is everybody reaching out to me with systems that seem to be malfunctioning?"
Captain, this device is producing some signals that is causing, interference, to say the least, in our systems. However, through investigation, this device perhaps will produce even more and greater effects upon me getting rid of it. So we're trying to contain it and isolate these fields and this frequency that it seems to be producing, or have our best and brightest on it right now. And that's why I haven't approached you in the ready room. I apologize for not communicating that sooner.
Understood. Do we know anything about this idol, and where's its previous owner?
It's Ferengi in origin. Previous owners on the space station in Med Bay in a coma.
Understood. And this force field we've erected, this seemed to contain it thus far?
Uncertain, although nothing else has sprung a leak yet, but so to speak. I just want to confirm that these fields, and at that point I click on the thing and I just, sorry Captain, I just want to make sure Kullat, Handel, Kaval, using your efforts, were you able to isolate this frequency and confirm that this field is blocking these frequencies? You're open on all channels.
That's affirmative, Commander.
Very good. And I kind of sigh a bit of a relief, and I look at Captain and I say, I believe we are ready, but this device that we have on board, perhaps we could send this for more study with the Federation. Maybe a good asset, or good for study in terms of any future Ferengi devices that might cause similar effects.
It might not be a bad idea, Commander. And once you two end at that point, your communicator goes off, Commander Maricadi.
Okay. Well, Captain, how you doing?
No, somebody was calling you on your communicator.
Oh, sorry. I thought it just went off. Yes, come in. This is Commander Maricadi.
Hi, this is Lieutenant Johnson from sickbay. I was asked to report to you when this Ferengi has regained consciousness. He has regained consciousness.
Very well. Is he talking? What is he?
He's coherent.
Very well. We'll be looking to beam on board then, as our docking seems to be causing some issues, but that's not neither here nor there. Thank you, Lieutenant. We'll be in touch.
Understood. And that is where we're going to pause for the evening. That's where we're going to pause for the evening. So here we are. I'll do a quick round robin. We went a little over. I wanted to kind of get it to a certain point. Commander Maricadi, what are your thoughts, sir?
We worked really well together. I think that we deciphered the nature of this device fairly quickly within the session, and were able to kind of figure out what's best to get rid of it, and how we moved along throughout the whole journey. As a team, I think we worked really well. So I'm excited to see what we're doing in this next session, what the captain has in store for us, and where this, if this is the end of the Ferengi device, or if there's more secrets to be unlocked, is yet to be seen.
Commander Kullat?
So you're looking for like my opinion of where we're at, or?
Yeah, just your thoughts currently. What's going through Kulat's mind? My thoughts to your thoughts.
My thoughts to your thoughts. Yeah, I mean, Kulat's focused on this device. He likes getting to the bottom of the things and understanding things, so he's just focused on, he's happy to have whatever the effect is blocked by the force field, but he wants to understand exactly what this effect might be, what it's doing, and all that.
Okay. And Lieutenant Commander Thrall?
Right. So, Thrall was probably out of his element at the beginning of the session. However, he comfortably found himself once again and gets to stroke his ego while he brings his friends to safety.
Huh. Wonder what that. What do you mean? Is that in form of something? Do you have a new friend, perhaps?
No.
Lieutenant Commander Tathak.
Tathak is my gender, not my actual name. Kaval is my name, Admiral. Tathak is the gender, apparently. But
Yeah, they've got like 6 genders or something.
Really? Okay. Well, I was today years old.
Kaval just wants this thing off his shit before something else goes wrong.
It sounded like he wants his thing off his shit. I was like, okay.
And Lieutenant Grax.
Andol is kind of upset that some of his medical experiments were ruined by this artifact, but he's feeling like his crew can get through pretty much anything at this point with what they already came through on that planet where they crash landed and dealt with that whole crisis together. So pretty confident we're going to be able to solve the mystery of this artifact and get out of the danger it's presenting to us.
And I would like to thank everybody for hanging out. Those of you who hung out, appreciate you. Appreciate your viewing numbers to us here. Later this week, we have a pretty full week, actually. Friday, Curse of Strahd at 7, 9 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Delta Green again. And then Sunday, for an extra long episode, is going to be Aliens. It may be our conclusion. I'm not sure. From what it sounds like, that's his push at 5 p.m. on Sunday. With that, we will be back on May 3rd. May 3rd, that's the next Tuesday, 7 p.m. We will see where we take this this adventure. So I appreciate everybody hanging out. And if you stick around, we're going to do a quick raid to Chaosium. Is that how you say it, Grax?
Chaosium.
Chaosium. Thank you. Live long and prosper, everybody.
Toodles.
Toodles. Toodles.